Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, and I'm here with Keith, co-star of my upcoming film, If, only in theaters May 17th. Do you want to tell people the big news? All right, I'll do it. Sign up now and you'll get unlimited for $15 a month and 6 months of Paramount Plus Essential Plan on us. MintMobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 equivalent to $15 per month. Unlimited over 40 gigabytes per month. Face lower speeds. Videos at 480p. Active Mint customers by 531.24 get 6 months of Paramount Plus Essential Plan. Auto renews after 6 months. Offer ends May 31st, 2024. Separate Paramount Plus registration required. Terms and conditions apply if rated PG.
It's only a kick. A jump. A block. It's only a serve. It's only a tackle. A run. It's only for the fans. After all, it's only pressure. You got this. Adidas.
This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2576. Why Can't I Get Back to Sleep? By Christian Finn of muscleevo.net. And I'm Dr. Neil Malik. Hey there, happy Monday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I act as your narrator of the best health and fitness blogs, all for free, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. And with that, let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. Why Can't I Get Back to Sleep? By Christian Finn of muscleevo.net. As I sit here writing to you, it's 2:43 a.m. I've been awake for the last 45 minutes. All the sleep hygiene boxes have been ticked. The room is dark and quiet. There are no electronic gadgets in there. I have nothing on my mind that I'm trying to remember. But for reasons that remain mysterious, I cannot get back to sleep. It makes no sense, especially given that the exact opposite will often happen when I'm seated in a meeting. The lights in the room are on, people are talking, matters of great importance are being discussed, and I am nodding my head sagely. And yet, it's only meeting etiquette that stops me falling into the warm and comforting embrace of an afternoon nap. Rather than waste any more time tossing and turning in bed, I thought I'd write to you about the negative impact that sleep deprivation can have on your ability to lose fat and build muscle. As you probably know already, lack of sleep doesn't do great things for your mood, but a single night of missed sleep is unlikely to harm your performance in the gym. In one trial, researchers from Midwestern State University found that going an entire night without sleep had no effect on training performance in a group of collegiate weightlifters. Although total mood disturbance was increased by sleep deprivation, the men were able to lift just as much weight as they did following a night of normal sleep. Where sleep deprivation does make it more difficult to get in shape is by affecting both hunger, the physical need for food, and appetite, the desire for food. Researchers aren't sure exactly how it happens. Some studies showed that sleep deprivation disrupts some of the hormones like leptin and ghrelin that affect your eating habits. Brain cells involved in the modulation of reward and motivation may also be altered by restricting sleep. The result is that you end up eating far more than normal. In some trials, subjects who were deprived of sleep ended up munching their way through the best part of 600 extra calories per day. In other words, a lack of sleep makes it a lot harder to control your appetite, especially for high carbohydrate junk foods like sweets, cookies, chips, and so on. Sleep deprivation isn't great news for your testosterone levels either. A group of young men spent 3 nights in a sleep lab, sleeping for up to 10 hours. For the next 8 nights, their sleep was restricted to just 5 hours per night. As a result, daytime testosterone levels dropped by 10 to 15%. A follow-up study found no significant effect of sleep restriction on testosterone, but there was a trend towards a decrease, which may have been greater had the sleep restriction phase of the study lasted longer than 5 nights. Now it gets worse. Another study I looked at shows that overweight adults on a diet lost 60% more muscle with 5.5 hours versus 8.5 hours of sleep opportunity per night. Both groups followed the exact same diet, losing an average of 6.6 pounds during each 14-day session. During weeks with adequate sleep, roughly half of the lost weight came from fat and half from fat-free mass. But during the short sleep weeks, participants lost an average of 1.3 pounds of fat and 5.3 pounds of fat-free mass. When sleep was restricted, dieters produced higher levels of ghrelin, a hormone that triggers hunger and reduces energy expenditure. Higher ghrelin levels have been shown to, according to the authors, quote, reduce energy expenditure, stimulate hunger and food intake, promote retention of fat, and increase hepatic glucose production to support the availability of fuel to glucose-dependent tissues. In our experiment, sleep restriction was accompanied by a similar pattern of increased hunger and reduced oxidation of fat. End quote. Granted, this was a short trial lasting 14 days, and nobody taking part lifted any weights or ate enough protein. But the research does hint at the possibility that sleep deprivation could make it harder to retain muscle while dropping fat. To paraphrase Alex Hutchinson, if you're taking ice baths, drinking beet juice, and wearing all the latest compression gear, but you're skimping on sleep, you've got your priorities all wrong. So there you have it. I'm probably not going to be in the greatest mood for the rest of the day. My performance in the gym isn't going to suffer too much, but the chances are very high that at some point this afternoon, I'm going to be hit with the urge to eat the entire packet of custard creams currently in my cupboard. You just listened to the post titled, Why Can't I Get Back to Sleep by Christian Finn of muscleevo.net, and I'll be right back with my commentary. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it filters out incompatible applicants. So when you're hiring, the process is much faster, and you only have to consider applicants that are already likely to be a great fit. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
This episode is brought to you by La Quinta by Wyndham. Your work can take you all over the place, like Texas. You've never been, but it's going to be great because you're staying at La Quinta by Wyndham. Their free Bright Side breakfast will give you energy for the day ahead. And after, you can unwind using their free high-speed Wi-Fi. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your stay today at LQ.com.
Dr. Neal here for my commentary. Here's the thing about sleep deprivation. When we learn about all the possible negative effects of sleep deprivation, it can stress us out to the point where we lose even more sleep thinking about it. We start playing this mental game with ourselves. If I fall asleep right now, I'll still get 4 solid hours before I have to wake up. Fast forward an hour later, we're still awake, and we then tell ourselves, okay, if I fall asleep right now, I can get at least 3 hours of solid sleep before I have to wake up. Sadly, this game doesn't actually lead us to falling asleep. This may be because we've put so much pressure on the act of falling asleep that it's having the opposite effect. It's keeping us wide awake. So one of the most influential psychologists of all time, Dr. Viktor Frankl, had a suggestion. Do the opposite to yourself. Instead of stressing about falling asleep, think about trying to stay awake. As a result, this frees your mind and body of the pressure to fall asleep, and magically, releasing that pressure helps us fall asleep faster. Try it out. See if it works for you. All right, that'll do it for today. Thank you so much for being here and listening through to the end. I hope you have a great start to your week, and I'll see you back here tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.